You know, he's a little bit of a projection recruiting, but he's been everything we hoped he would be, and then some. Obviously surpassed, any thoughts we might have had. Really good football player, better young guy. You guys are getting to know him. He's just a tremendous guy, upbeat, so respected by his teammates. So, to get a guy back with not only his ability, but his leadership capabilities, it's just really important.
I was just kind of curious, like these bowl trips, the night before the game, it's New Year's Eve. This group seems wired like there's not going to be any trouble or anything like that. But what kind of parameters do you put in place? And do you ever worry about anything before the game happening or anything?
I'm only laughing. I'm thinking about Tampa. You stay right there in the Bay, and New Year's Eve is wild down there, just loud. And the hotel we were in was like the place to be. Apparently, a lot of cars coming in and out, but you couldn't sleep, And so we started going off-site on game night, just like we would at home. And I think that's a real bonus, just to get the guys kind of in their normal mode. With all due respect, but away from the families, everybody's who's having a festive time. That's what bowls are for. It just helps our guys, I think, stay in the game mode. Just one thing we've done, I think, that's been helpful.
Coach, what were you chatting about with Josh Heupel over there?
Just things in general. I've never met Josh, but I feel like I know him. Obviously, he played for Bob at Oklahoma, and the Insight Bowl, 12, 13 years ago when we played Oklahoma. I remember Bob telling me it was his most enjoyable team to coach, least talented but most enjoyable. Josh didn't have an NFL career, but obviously a really outstanding quarterback, outstanding leader. So, kind of felt like I know him a little bit just through that conversation, but he's done a great job in his career, earned everything he's gotten, and just had a nice chance to catch up.
Do you have a timetable on the rest of the announcements? And I know January 15th is the drop dead, but to go to the NFL. But
okay.
Do you think?
I don't want to speak to the other guys. My sense is that they're all going at their own. They're all different stories, and they're all going at their different rates. So my only request to everybody was don't be distracted this week with whatever you're thinking about. If you want to announce, great. If you don't, hold off. That's great too. But try not to be distracted by it, because I've witnessed that in the last couple of years. Some guys have done a better job of that than others, and it's a big decision. So it's easy to understand why they might be distracted. But you also try to reinforce that you only have so many chances to play in a football game during your career, no matter how long you play. So don't let the specialness of this event be diminished by maybe some things that are on your mind. So they all have plenty of time. Guys that have made up their minds have plenty of time to get back.
What's kind of your process with those players? Do you talk to them a lot about it? Do you kind of just leave them be?
Not at this point. We talk, pre-traveling, and very little at this point. Just, again, same thing. Just had the conversations, try to give them the information that's necessary. For the most part, very little discussion here. And if they want to talk, one of the players wants to talk next week, I'll be happy to visit with him. It's kind of like recruiting. They got to go where they want to go and where they want to be, because it's kind of productive if they do the other way around. You can't please both parties.
Do you get the NFL feedback and share that with them? Talk to NFL.
We've already done that,
and with Cooper and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then if they want more information in January, certainly the NFL people know more in January than they did 4 weeks ago. So we'll try to get them on the phone if anybody needs to be on the phone with all that kind of stuff, so they are getting accurate information from the people who do it for a living. Big difference between advisors and all those stuff. So they can try to learn them too. Everybody's got an agenda, so just know what the agendas are, and try to sift through the stuff that maybe you got to get to what's important to you. That's really what it gets down to. It's like anything.